Hello gentlemen, have you ever found yourself riding one of these electric scooters and thought it was just getting a bit boring?
This fucking sucks.
Well, in this video I'm going to turn this max shot e-scooter into a hybrid electric and gasoline powered scooter with this motor. First of all, as you can see, it's relatively small, meaning there's no room to put the little two-stroke engine anywhere on the actual scooter frame in order for it to mount up to the back wheel. So that means I'm going to need to build some sort of platform zigzagging, connecting here, going up and there, so I can mount the motor above the back wheel and bring a chain down.
I use strips of rope to measure the parameters of the end of the scooter. I'll use this metal plate to cut out a mounting point since I don't want to weld directly to the scooter. This is what it looks like on the scooter. Now I'll be drilling holes to put through bolts. Sizing them up here. Removing these plastic bits to make sure there's nothing electrical under them before drilling through this lip on the scooter. I'll put bolts through like this. When I get longer ones from Lowe's. Here I'm marking out with tape where I'll cut the longer angled plate to weld onto the mounting plate. Voila! Now I'm going to grind an angle on the plate as well as grind away some of this plastic on the scooter to make room. This is what it's looking like. Time to weld it up. Roast my weld. Here's it all bolted up so far. Now I need to work on the plate the engine will actually sit on. Just going to try it about the same size as the angle plate. Now let's weld it on. Dogs hit welds. Here it is mocked up with the engine above the wheel for the first time. Now I need to ensure alignment. The sprocket on the motor would have to be way over to align with the side of the wheel where the sprocket would go. So I'll need to cut away part of the top plate and transplant it to the other side like so. Preparing for welding and welding. More shitty booty welds. Now, the plate is a little too long to accommodate for the carburetor, so the mounting points sit flat. Using the trusty tape method to mark where to cut.
Bruh.
Nicely cut to size. Now I had to watch a tutorial on how to remove this back wheel, but here's a quick one. Remove this plastic cover to access the actual axle bolts. Rinse and repeat. Got to get this bolt holding the brakes on as well. Here's the little axle, don't want to lose those spacers. Now here's the wheel removed and the sprocket I bought for this build using little bitty 25H chain. As you can tell, this plastic lip has to be shaved down for it to fit on. After grinding and filing, this is what I have. I bought these long bolts to go through the scooter rim. Although I am realizing I need to shave away a bit more of this plastic wall for the bolts to fit where I want. I'll drill holes here, here, and here. Threading on the nuts. Voila, again. Now I need to cut the extra length of my sprocket mounting bolts. I'll be using this green paint to mark where my engine mounting holes will be positioned on the frame with the chain lined up. Here is the painted mounting bolt threads and the markings I was able to get with that. Now I'm going to drill out all the holes to mount the motor. It isn't pretty, but here is the holes I came out with. Now to thread in the bolts from the bottom. This is what we're working with. Now, this motor didn't come with any exhaust system, so I got this old beat-up 2-stroke motorized bicycle exhaust and figured it would fit on if I drilled out the mounting holes a bit wider because the ports were similar. Voila! First startup now that it has an exhaust sounds nice. Now it's time to put the chain on. The chain was super loose, but not loose enough to take a link out, so I put a crappy chain tensioner on the side like so. First time rolling on the chain, and it pops. My theory was it was due to the suspension closing the gap and loosening the chain. Rolls fine, and chain stays on for now under just the electric motor up front. Although I noticed the chain steadily getting looser, so I tried a couple different chain tensioners each time the chain would loosen being rode just with the electric motor. I finally landed on this one, and it seemed to work good. Chain got loose again. This time enough so to just take a link out, and it was plenty tight without the tensioner. Failure again. Off camera, I built this gas tank mount up here with random junk bolted together. I wanted to use the throttle that came with the motor, but there are issues. The throttle cable that came with the motor is too short to reach the scooter handlebars, so I ordered a longer one off Amazon. When my new throttle cable came in, I rigged up this throttle with a brake lever and a zip tie, and I want to talk about it.